In July, a massive landslide occurred in Hubei province, near the Three Gorges Reservoir. The event was just one of a series of natural disasters that hit China this summer. The relentless downpours have caused flooding and landslides in several provinces, including Sichuan, Shaanxi, Henan, and Anhui. In Yichang City, a landslide destroyed a rural road and a citrus orchard. Fortunately, there were no casualties. 4 workers managed to evacuate. Locals attribute the accident to the rising water level in the Three Gorges Reservoir and prolonged rains. Experts note that after the construction of the Three Gorges Dam, landslides and other geological disasters became more frequent in the 600-kilometer zone of the reservoir. Fluctuating water levels in the reservoir create a 30-meter flood zone along the shore, leading to soil erosion and frequent landslides. Meanwhile, due to heavy rains in the upper reaches of the Yangtze, the river basin has entered a critical flood control period. The Three Gorges Dam is expected to face several flood peaks. To prepare for possible large floods upstream, the reservoir is making room by releasing water. On July 16, the dam opened 11 spillway locks, only the second time this has happened since its construction in 2003. Severe flooding has affected the middle and lower reaches of the Yangtze. The Hunan Provincial Hydrology Center predicts that increased releases from the Three Gorges Reservoir will cause water levels in Dongting Lake to rise again, possibly exceeding critical levels. In northern Sichuan, southern Shaanxi, and western Henan, heavy rains caused a significant rise in water levels in the upper reaches of the Han River. On July 17, the water level in Danjiku Reservoir exceeded 160 meters, leading to increased water release. The situation was particularly dire in Shaanxi and Henan provinces. On the night of July 16, heavy rain hit Boji City in Shaanxi province, causing flash floods and mudslides. The Shiba River overflowed its banks, flooding the city. Videos have circulated on social media showing muddy floodwaters rushing through the streets, sweeping away parked cars. The city of Nanyang in Henan province received nearly 700 millimeters of rain in 24 hours, close to the annual norm. Videos on the internet show severe flooding in Nanyang, where homes, cars, and farmland have been flooded or destroyed. Locals report that past floods in Henan have often involved the release of water from reservoirs, resulting in significant losses. Chinese authorities have been criticized for not providing timely warnings and limiting information about natural disasters. One resident said she woke up at 2 a.m. to find her bed floating in water. Many houses in her village were flooded, with water reaching several meters deep, destroying food, livestock, and household appliances. In Nanyang City's Tana district, which had previously experienced severe drought, the Tana River suddenly overflowed its banks after a 10-hour discharge of water from its headwaters that began at 7 p.m. on July 16. Residents along the river were on alert all night, and some had to evacuate. Mr. Yang, a resident of Nanyang City, shared, "Many cars are flooded, farmland is flooded, people are trapped. Underpasses and bridges are flooded to the point where an adult can drown. Some people have fallen into storm drains and disappeared. It's horrible. We have new roads, but the drainage system is inadequate. When it rains, it gets clogged and the municipal infrastructure is poorly managed." He also mentioned the Ya Reservoir in Nanyang. During drought, they close it to raise the water level and rent it out for fish farming and other income-generating activities. When it rains, they secretly release the water without warning. If they issued a warning, it would become government policy. Government action, and they might have to pay compensation. They blame natural disasters on man-made problems. They don't care about people. The widespread flooding in China this year is partly due to high rainfall, but human error plays a significant role. Since the founding of the People's Republic of China, the government has managed rivers and reservoirs in a way described as playing with water. The authorities promoted the idea of conquering nature, which led to the construction of numerous hydraulic structures. According to the International Commission on Large Dams, China has more than 22,000 large dams, 44% of the world's total. Of the 851 dams over 100 meters high in the world, 130 are in China. As of 2022, China has 95,200 296 reservoirs with a total capacity of 9,887 billion cubic meters. However, many reservoirs and dams in China are poorly constructed. Even the Ministry of Water Resources has admitted that there are more than 72,000 problematic and dangerous reservoirs in the country. The Chinese government claims that building reservoirs can regulate droughts and floods, but it is actually the government that is responsible. Based on China's water policy, authorities often block water during droughts and release it during floods. The so-called orderly release of floodwater often happens without warning. According to Wang Weiluo, a water resources expert, the flood control level is a low level of water in reservoirs designed to store floodwater. However, local governments often release water as soon as the flood protection level is exceeded. This effectively reduces the flood control capacity to zero. One reason for this is the Reservoir Director Liability System, where local officials are responsible for the safety of the reservoirs. Knowing the poor quality of most dams, they prefer to release water to avoid dam failure, leaving downstream residents to deal with the consequences. The massive floods in China this summer were the result of a combination of natural factors and human activity. Climate change is leading to more intense rainfall, and poor water management is exacerbating the effects of natural disasters. Approaches to the construction and operation of hydraulic structures need to be reviewed, and early warning and evacuation systems need to be improved. Thank you for watching this video about the complex flood situation in China. If you enjoyed the content, please give us a like and subscribe to our channel for further updates on important world events. Take care of yourself and your loved ones and let natural disasters pass you by.